Welcome to TPCLOUD's YouTube channel, which shares technology information, especially in the field of cloud computing. Today we will continue with the Let's Started with TPCLOUD series, and this is part 4. We will talk about advanced networking. vCloud Director provides the advanced networking capabilities powered by the NSX network virtualization software that offer enhanced security controls and routing and network scaling capabilities. We will in turn learn about these features, and first we will learn about Firewall Rule. You use the Edge Gateway Firewall screen to add firewall rules for that Edge Gateway. You can add multiple NSX Edge interfaces and multiple IP address groups as the source and destination for these firewall rules. Now, go to the lab. First, we need to check what is the public IP address of our Edge Gateway. Click on Configure Service to configure advanced networking with Edge. Now, I will create a new firewall rule. First, check the current state of the Edge Gateway. I will use the ping command to test the connection to the Edge Gateway. As you can see, we cannot connect to the Edge Gateway. Now I will create firewall rules that allow connection to the Edge Gateway. Click the plus sign to add a new firewall rule. Name the Firewall Rule. Source, where you declare source information. Here I will allow everything accessible to the Edge Gateway. Destination, where you declare the destination information, in this case, the Edge Gateway IP address. Select the type of service you allow. Here, I will allow it all. An action, where you accept or deny. Click Save Change to save and apply the firewall rule. And now try to test the connection to the Edge Gateway. Connected successfully. We can also change the configuration of the firewall rules. For example, I will delete the newly created firewall rule. Check the connection to the Edge. Unable to connect. Change the default rule from deny to accept. Save changes. Checking connection. Success. Now we will learn about distributed firewall. You first add a distributed firewall rule to the scope of the organization virtual data center. Then you can narrow down the scope at which you want to apply the rule. The distributed firewall allows you to add multiple objects at the source and destination levels for each rule, which helps reduce the total number of firewall rules to be added. Let's take a simple example. We have 3 Edge gateways and 2 VM. Each Edge gateway, we have 2 routed network connected from VM to this Edge gateway. By default, the Edge gateway allows VM01 and VM02 to connect to each other. If we need to block these 2 VM, we need to create firewall rule on all 3 edges. This will take time if we have more and more Edge gateways. With distributed firewall, we only need to create one distributed firewall and it will be applied to all these Edge gateways. Alright, let's go to the lab. First, check some VM settings. We have 2 VM in the same VDC, specifically VM Demo 04 is connected to the network demo routed network. And VM Demo 05 is connected to network demo routed network 2. Now let's check the connection between these two VM. As you can see, these two VM are connected. Now, I will create a DFW to block the connection between these two VM. Go to Tab, Security, Configure Service. Add a new distributed firewall, give name. Source, destination, service are similar to firewall rules. Action, I will choose to deny. Protocol is any. And apply on Edge Gateway. You can select multiple Edge gateways here. Now let's check the connection between these two VM. Connection has been blocked. Similar to the firewall rule, you can still change the created distributed firewall. For example, I will change the newly created distributed firewall configuration as follows. Source, I will apply only to demo routed network and destination. I will apply to demo routed network too. Please check. As you can see, VM04 cannot connect to VM05, but vice versa, VM05 has successfully connected to VM04. Now we will learn about NAT. We have two types of NAT, namely SNAT and DNAT. See the following simple example. We have an edge gateway, and one VM is connected to this edge gateway through a routed network. Edge gateway is connected to the internet environment. Case 1, we stand at the VM and we are in need of an internet connection. By default, you will not be able to connect to the internet. To do that, you will have to create a NAT rule of the type SNAT and allow this VM to connect to the internet through the edge gateway. Case 2, suppose this VM has a WebServe service on port 80. And you are in an internet environment that needs to access this service. You will need to create a NAT rule with the type DNAT and allow external connections to the VM on port 80 through the edge gateway. If there is another VM running another service, for example RDP with port 3389, we can still create a different NAT rule with DNAT type that allows external connection to the VM through port 3389. Let's go to the lab for example. First, we will check the connection from VM04 to the internet. As you can see, we cannot connect to the internet. Now, we go to the Edge Configure Services to create a SNAT rule. Choose the interface you want to apply. Original source IP range, where you fill the IP address you want to go to the internet. You can use IP address or IP range. Translated source IP range, where you fill the IP address of edge gateway. Click Keep and Save Change. Now, check the connection again. We already connected to the internet. Now, we will create a DNAT to open 3389 port for our DP service. First, let's check to make sure we cannot connect to our DP service. Now, create a DNAT rule. Select interface to apply on. Original source IP range. Input the edge gateway IP. Select protocol type. Here, I choose TCP. Select port incoming. I choose 3389 port. Translated source IP range. Type the private IP you want connect to. And type port you want to use. Click Keep and Save. Now, let's check our DP service. Well done, we can use this service. Now, you have already known how to use NAT in the edge gateway.